My name is Robert Pranger. I am a family medicine physician in Waterloo, Iowa. I do the full spectrum of family medicine, including obstetrics, pediatric care, end-of-life care, and essentially the whole gamut. Originally from Davenport, Iowa, grew up there, moved up here after medical school when I finished at the University of Iowa. I have 12, soon to be 13 children in my home with my wife Maria. 3 or 4 years ago, I was approached by one of my now fertility care practitioners about exploring crate model fertility care system and NAPRO technology as part of my practice. It was very interesting because 22 years ago, when I lived in St. Louis, Missouri, my wife and I actually learned crate model fertility care system. It had a huge impact on our life. I remember very distinctly after I finished medical school, we had our 4th child, and I say we, but it was actually myself, was very done having children, and I thought 4 was the perfect number, and I thought we were good. Had all kinds of plans and things I wanted to do, and so decided that, yep, we're done having children, and thought about exploring a different option of controlling our family size. On a lot of prayerful consideration and review of theological documents as well as medical documents, started to realize that my basis for having my family complete with 4 children was flawed in many ways. So crate model, when we learned it 23 years ago, was very much oh my goodness, we're young and in college and having kids, and we can't have 15 kids. We've got to be able to slow this down somehow. What's interesting is that in learning crate model over the course of time, changed my heart, changed my perspective, such that we're having our 13th child in November, and I couldn't be happier. I had somebody ask me one time, oh, that natural family planning stuff doesn't work, just look at your family picture. And I told them, I said, natural family planning, if your goal is to have 2.7 children like all of society, it may work, it may not work. Anything that's out there, birth control pills, IUDs, may work, may not work. But if you look at it from a perspective of what it does to your heart, to your relationship, and to your soul, it's quite amazing. And here I stand today. So when Jamie showed up and started talking to me about integrating this into my medical practice, it really hit a nerve and it really touched me. This was something that my wife and I had taken in as part of our relationship, part of our marriage for the past 20 years. And we started to see the benefit and the growth, and I saw this as an opportunity to take it to a next level, to start bringing that out to the community, bringing the fertility care system to the community. But then I started to see how I could then use my medical practice to augment that and to improve people's lives and have them come to a better understanding of their fertility and family and love and everything, in fact. And what's interesting most, I think, is how little I realized at that point in time how much it would impact my life. Making the change to no longer prescribing birth control pills, making the change to practicing under a NAPRO technology model has brought me incredible fulfillment that I never saw in the first 14, 15 years of my medical practice. So this has been an amazing journey in the last 3 or 4 years for me, and Guiding Stars, as I see it, as really the next evolution of that, taking that now to a wider community, to a wider format that we can explore other dynamics of taking care of people from a very pro-life standpoint. My wife and I, when we were in medical school, she's been my spiritual backbone through many times when I maybe didn't have one. When I was in medical school, she was encouraging me, don't prescribe birth control, keep your practice in line with your faith. I wasn't ready to hear it, I wasn't ready for that. And it was only through this process that we've gotten to that point. One of the reasons why I wasn't ready for that process at that point in time in medical school was because of the fact that I had never had a mentor to show me that it could be possible. And I started realizing very quickly in these last few years that if I can be that kind of a mentor to say, you know, this is possible, because it is. It is. It's a great way to live. It's a great way to practice. And if we can be that light on the horizon for somebody who's coming through the system, who has a desire to do the right thing and to live rightly, and I can impact a handful of people in that regard, it'll make all the hours and dollars and struggles and conflicts that have come up along the way worth it by leaps and bounds.